So the question that I have for all of you to share with all these people over here is, what are some of the learnings that you've had, to get to the success level that you have today, and creating content? So you could share any learning that you want to share. Who wants to go first? You want to go first?
So the way we see content is basically, we started asking ourselves, what do we want to show people? That was the first question. But then we turned around and said, you know what? We need to ask ourselves, what do people want to see? And a typical user goes through, if I may, 4 levels of micro moments. There is a I want to know moment, where people really want to know where they want to go. There's the I want to do moment. There's a I want to go moment, and there's a I want to buy moment, right? And if you're able to hold your user within this ecosystem, you've done the job, right? And that's pretty much essentially what we are trying to do, and that's the biggest learning that we've had within the FNB network itself.
Okay. Hamid, over to you.
So just as creating content, I've been doing it since 2011, and the biggest thing that I learned is to just not care, to be honest, about what people think. Because one, you can't please everyone. And two, the more I do me, the more followers or the more interest I get that is real. So if you want real engagement and real worth of your content, it's more of an intrinsic process rather than putting things out that you think will get the most attention. I mean, my thing is just keep true to yourself and create the content which you could best relate to, or it comes from a deep, dark place inside you. And if you could share that with people and not veer off of that because someone said they don't like you or someone said they think you're worthless or whatever it is, you'll get that. I get that almost a daily basis, but it doesn't bother me anymore. It did at the start, but once you overcome that, you just keep creating the content that you do, and one day you'll get your... Yeah, just be yourself. Thank you for summing up my long spiel. Thank you.
Over to you, Bilal.
Thanks. So, I mean, content is very broad as a topic, but I will just reiterate what both these guys said, which is spot on. The one bit I would add is that in the age of the internet, and I mean, we've seen this time and time again, things change. Things change on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. As long as you're having fun doing what it is that you're doing, that's the main thing. Because if you're going to be too honed onto a specific format of a specific style, trying to perfect it, things will change and move on before you reach that, and then you're going to get left behind. From us specifically, I can say as a company, as a brand, it's not about the individual. It's not about what you are doing. It's about what the team can put together and taking input from all layers. So, from the guy, like in Qatar Living, like I've been there the longest, but what I say doesn't, I mean, my team is here somewhere, you can ask them. What I say is not what goes. It's whoever's in the room when we're discussing something, who makes the best case for something, is what we're going to go with. So, yeah, I mean, you make mistakes, you learn, but largely I see that format as being one that would, especially if you're looking from a business point of view, really work. Because especially in the region, we often overlook, we think the most inexperienced is their views are not going to be as important. But when it comes to content and the internet, that's certainly not the case.
Thank you for sharing.
Well, I think I have to point out that over here on this panel, I'm the only one, BQ is the only print magazine. And the truth is that print magazines make a big percentage of the local media here. And there's quite a big difference between print media and online, which is a lot of you were born online and a lot of us were in the print. And currently now, the big issue here is how do we transition from print to online? And that then is where we talk about content, because print content is very different from online content. So that's kind of what we're looking at now, and how to move on from print to online.
So I guess from my point of view, the learning that I had is, number one, I always did what it was that I enjoyed doing, and I never chased the money. And I think the people that go ahead and do chase after generating revenue first are the ones that end up just disappearing all of a sudden because they're just not enjoying it.
Yeah,
And I
one of
think-
them was supposed to be on this panel.
Burn.
Oh, there's a lot more coming. I'm
There's
just
a lot
saying.
more. But so I think that was like the main learning, that I had. And also, creating content can be addictive, especially when you get like your first 100 shares and you get like 1,000 shares, and eventually get to a point where you're chasing the shares, and then you start to forget what it is that actually got you to where you are at the first place. So I'd say never do that, because you just end up becoming this totally different monster. Yeah.
You are our heroine.
Addictive.
It's addictive. Your likes are addictive.